I'm Julia at the Greenwell Springs branch of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System, and today I'm going to show you how to turn embroidery floss into a friendship bracelet. Your kits will come with 4 skeins of embroidery floss. We're going to start out by pulling all of the papers off. We're going to start by taking each color of floss. And when we want to cut about 5 feet. So measure out about a foot. If you have a ruler, that's great. If not, you can eyeball it. It's better to go a little longer than it is to go too short. So I've got 1, 2, 3 feet here. 4 and 5. Cut that. Now I'm going to use this. I'm going to use one piece to measure out how much I need of the other 3 colors. All right, now we've got our 4 pieces of embroidery floss. We're going to fold them in half so that the ends meet. Pull it out to the middle. We're going to tie a knot in the end here. Leaving a loop. All 4 colors. I'm going to pull it up so that there's just a nice little loop there. Now, I'm going to use that loop to tape down the end of my bracelet. I'm going to set the loop against a flat surface, and I'm going to take a piece of tape and tape it down to stabilize it. This makes it much easier to work with. If you have a clipboard, that will also work. You can clip it down. If you have just a hook that's attached to something, you can hook it on. But we are going to use a piece of tape here. All right, now I'm going to arrange my colors. Start with green, orange, blue, purple, green, orange, blue, purple. Now I'm going to take the leftmost strand. I'm going to pull the end of it over to the right. I'm going to make a loop like that, make a 4 over the next strand in the order. So that'll be the orange piece. I'm going to bring the end back up through that loop and pull it tight like that. Gonna go to the next strand, the blue, and do the same thing. Make the loop, pull it through. You want to hold on to the thread that is not your working thread. This is our working thread. This is not the working thread. When you make your loop and pull it, make your knot. This is a forward knot, by the way. Hold on to the non-working thread and pull the knot of the working thread up it. Okay, another piece of green here. Make sure you are pulling the correct one. On to orange. Blue. And purple. And then we're done with this first green strand for now. And we move on and come all the way back over to the far left side and pull the next thread. The orange is first orange. It's hard to see the pattern this early on. It'll take going through with each thread about once. Once you've got a few more rows going, you'll start to see the stripe taking shape. Coming back around now. Whoops, I'm getting all kinds of tangle. Do make sure to pull all of your threads out regularly to keep them from tangling to the point of uselessness. I'm going to come over here to the blue and pull it up. Continue. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a few more rows and then I'm going to skip to the end, because once you've got your first few rows, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You can see here how it's starting to flatten out a little and how we're starting to get our stripe. I'm actually going to pull my tape up. And tape along that stripe to help me keep it flat, like that. So you can see that I've got now several inches of cording. This is enough to go around my wrist loosely. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 inches. You can do it a little smaller, you can do it larger by adding more knot rows or not doing as many. At this point, what we're going to do is we're just going to start making knots. I'm going to separate 4 strands on one side and 4 on the other. Bring it down into a knot. Do it again. And if your bracelet is long enough that you can get it over your wrist, you can just tie it at this point. Tie this end to this, or you can continue and make one really, really big knot. And you just keep knotting until you have one good big knot that's just about the size of your loop on that side. And that's going to catch on the loop and keep it on my wrist. And I'm going to trim a little of the excess. If you want to trim it all the way down, you'll want to put a few drops of glue there. Now, a lot of times your bracelet will want to curl up like that. What you can do is you can simply get it wet and take an iron to it. And if you don't have an iron, you can, again, get it wet and pin it down onto a pillow, stretching it at the sides and at the ends, and let it dry out in the sun. Or use a hairdryer. Right. I'll show you what that's like. So here is my ironed out bracelet. It's entirely complete. I'm going to hook it on. I'm just going to take my loops and pull that knot through them. And that'll catch and keep it on. See, you can see it's pretty loose on me. I could have gotten away with doing several fewer rows if I wanted it tighter. But if I want something nice and loose like this, there's what you've got. If you want something super tight, go ahead and measure your wrist, before you start. And of course, you don't have to keep strictly to this specific pattern. You've got more than enough embroidery thread to double up on some or all of your colors so that you can make it wider. Do 16 strands instead of 8. And if you want wider stripes, you do 2 of the same color in a row. You can alternate wider stripes and smaller stripes. Whatever pleases you best, it's your bracelet.